Hi there, everybody. Welcome to a chat with Glendora. It's a happiness show. You and I are specializing in happiness. With God we go to spread the joy of love. We win each day the happiness of life. We count our blessings. We give thanks, we give joy. Stop the cruel. Stop the cruel. This is March 6th. And it was 2 years ago that I had my funeral. It was a nice funeral. The people came and said good things. And I went all around the room to each one and asked them what their talent was. They displayed what their talent was. And we all were brought together as a group, and we all liked each other. March the 6th, 2010, my funeral. Thank you. And we had vegetarian food too. You know what's good is to take a tortilla, a wrap, one of those round flat things, and you put lettuce on it, and you put peanut butter on it, and you roll it up, and it's delicious. Peanut butter and lettuce are delicious. Would you like to hear some jokes? Where do you go to eat after you've hurt your ankle? IHOP. What? IHOP. Oh. The woman said she just turned 42. No, excuse me, the woman said she just turned 24, and her friend said yesterday she was 42. And the woman making out the application for the job, she put down that her birthday was May 6th. And the man interviewing her said, well, what year? And she said, every year. They would make a change in management at Cablevision, but they can't find out who's managing it now. And things are bad. At the annual meeting, they played taps. And somebody came in and asked for a change for a $100 bill, and they made him a partner. And the teacher said, if you had 51% of a company, what would you have? And the son of the tycoon said, control of it. And an efficiency expert is somebody who tells you how to run your business, but isn't smart enough to run his own, to own his own. Bill says his office has an Apple computer, and his friend says, well, ours is a lemon. Edward has everything it takes to be a success in business. What's that? Rich parents. What do you call fake spaghetti? The great imposter. And Marilyn said to her friend, your son is so smart to be president of the company. And his mother said, yes, except he started out as chairman. And every piece of equipment at Cablevision is insured, except the clocks. And the employees keep a good watch on those. You're always hearing about machines that will do the work of 2 men, machines that will do the work of 3 men. Cablevision has found something that will do the work of 5 men. What is that? 1 woman. And the secretary said, I'd rather have the 5 men. And you're lucky, folks, if you go to work today and you don't get hit by a machine, and if you get to work, that you don't get replaced by one. Well, this is a Happiness show, and we have a few principles. Number 1, we are in contract, you and I. We agreed that we do everything we can to make each other happy. Number 2, we don't think about evil. We don't see evil, we don't hear evil, we don't think evil, we don't do evil, we don't speak evil. We just do good and hear good and speak good and think good. And we don't think about anything but the present. We keep our mind right on the present. Just stop and think. The present that you are in at this moment, folks. Just stop and think about it. And count the blessings in it. Fresh air. Sunshine. March. Spring coming. The beautiful flowers coming. The crocus. The snowbells. The daffodils. The jonquils, the magnolias, the flowering crab trees, the weeping cherries, the apple blossoms, the other cherry blossoms, the dandelions, the violets. They're all coming, folks, with all their beautiful colors, with all their enunciation of the great spring and the great summer to be. Continue with the blessings of the moment. You have health. You have strength. You can see. You can hear. You can walk. You're financially able. There's no war in your country. There's no war in your soil. You have a magnificent body. You have a great and wonderful friend. You have a very rich friend, a very smart friend. You have God. It can go on, and in a whole minute you couldn't count the blessings that are in that minute. No, not in a minute could you do it. And we count blessings every hour. We count 15 blessings every hour, such as we just did. And we rejoice about something every quarter of an hour. And we don't think about what? We don't think about evil. Let's see what we can find in the hymns to meditate upon. Bible emergency phone numbers given to me by a man at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Livingston. If you find the world growing small and yourself great, call Psalm 19. If discouraged about your work, call Psalm 126. When is sorrow? Call John 14. Bible emergency phone numbers. Here are Harry and Harriet, brother and sister cats. And they go and do everything together, and always have. And when Bruce went to see them to see if he wanted to adopt one of them, he of course took them both because they came out to see him and they were side by side. Their sides were touching. We don't have a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we'll travel along singing a song side by side. Every day is a jewel, isn't it, folks? Did you see the moon last night? What a magnificent creation. Oh, it's so grand. All right, here's a hymn. Rejoice, ye pure in heart. Rejoice, give thanks and sing. Your festal banners raised on high, the cross of Christ your King. Rejoice, 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 give thanks and sing. It's as simple as that. Happiness is as simple as that. Rejoice, give thanks, and sing. Rejoice, give thanks, and sing. How do we get rid of self, folks? Self, S-E-L-F. How do we get rid of self? How do we get our mind off of self and get our mind onto others? That's happiness. To God be the glory, great things he hath done. So loved he the world, he gave us his Son, who offered his life an atonement for sin, and opened the life gates that all may come in. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Hope, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory, great things he hath done. Open our eyes that we may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands that wonderful key that will unclasp and set us free. Silently now we wait for thee. Ready, our God, thy will to see. Open our eyes, illumine us, Spirit divine. One more hymn, and then we'll get down to working on happiness. Dear Lord and Father of mankind, forgive our feverish ways. Reclothe us in our rightful mind. In purer lives thy service find. In deeper reverence praise. In simple trust like theirs who heard beside the Syrian sea the gracious calling of the Lord. Let us, like them without a word, rise up and follow thee. O Sabbath joy, on Galilee, O calm of hills above, where Jesus knelt to share with thee the silence of eternity, interpreted by love. Close thy still dews of happiness, till all our striving seas. Take from our souls the strain and stress, and let our ordered lives confess the beauty of thy peace. Breathe through the pulses of desire thy coolness and thy balm. Let sense be dumb, let flesh retire, speaks through the earthquake, wind and fire, thy still, small voice of calm. Amen. I would like to talk to you folks about the Constitution of the United States. Sleep with it under your pillow. Carry it in your pocketbook. The First Amendment gives you 5 rights. Do you know what they are? The right to free religion. Congress shall make no law that inhibits free religion. Free speech, that's number 2. Free press, that's number 3. Peaceful assembly. Picket. Picket. Peaceful assembly. And the 5th right under the First Amendment is the right to petition your government for relief from grievance. Now this thing they're talking about making everybody deposit their Social Security check, electronic deposit, and no more paper checks. That's unconstitutional. And when it comes to that, I probably will sue. That is rank First Amendment violation. And I have the right to petition my government for redress of grievance. Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. That means in February you can go outdoors without a sweater. The Third Amendment, you don't have to house a soldier. Folks, did you know that Jesus was homeless? I asked Pastor Slater that, and he says, but there is a Bible mention that after so-and-so, Jesus went to his home in Capernaum. But as we see it throughout the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus was homeless. Now we go to the Fourth Amendment. This is very important. If a sheriff, deputy, or a trooper, or a municipal policeman stops you and you're riding around in your private conveyance, all of these traffic laws are a racket, and it's just a moneymaker, and they really are unconstitutional. But anyway, if you're stopped by a policeman, folks, first of all, get his name and get his badge number, or her. And if he or she says, well, we'll get it later, you say, no, honey, we got to have it now. And insist on it. And then the next question is, why did you stop me? An officer of the law is required to have probable cause. That's the Fourth Amendment. Probable cause. It goes deeper than that no unwarranted warrant shall issue. But you have to have probable cause. And it has to be sworn under penalty of perjury. Fourth Amendment. Very, very important. Fifth Amendment is loaded with protections. You shall not be deprived of your life, limb, or property without due process of law. What is due process of law? It means you go to court. And it means that you have an honest court. That's impossible to find. I have not found an honest court. And in testing the courts for 20 years, I never found an honest court. Never. All over the country. And even in the Virgin Islands, and even in Alaska, and even in Puerto Rico, and even in Hawaii, and so forth. I never found an honest court. All right, so that's due process of law. And then also nobody can take your property for public domain without suitable payment, retribution. And there's others in the Fifth Amendment. It would be good for you to look up the Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment. The Fifth Amendment is for the federal courts, the 14th Amendment is for the state courts. Before the colonists would sign the Constitution, they insisted on the Bill of Rights. And this is what I'm quoting is the Bill of Rights. So the 14th Amendment is that no state shall deprive you of life, liberty, or limb, or property without due process of law. Sixth Amendment is very good. You shall have counsel. Counsel does not mean a lawyer. No, counsel does not mean a lawyer. Your mother can be your counsel. Your friend can be your counsel. You are entitled to counsel. And also under the Fifth Amendment is that your accuser has to face you. You have to be faced by your accuser. And don't ever accept a lawyer as a front for the plaintiff. Excuse me, as a defendant. Don't ever accept a lawyer as a front. You insist upon the defendant himself. And also in the Sixth, you have a right to subpoena your witnesses. And the court must do it for you. The Seventh is trial by jury. You are entitled to trial by jury by a jury of your peers, people on the same level as you are. And then the 14th. Go over and over and over those every day and be able to quote them much better than I quoted them here. Okay. This is happiness lesson number 48, I believe. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring to bud her glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, for the facing of this hour, for the facing of this hour. This is 3 minutes that has to be attached to Happiness Chat number 47. Listen to this, folks. This is from Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. The leopard shall lie down with the young goat. The calf and the young lion together. The cow and the bear shall graze. Their young ones shall lie down together. And the lion shall eat straw like the cow. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of God, as the waters cover the sea. Isaiah 11, 6-9. Now my kitty cats have started this, and the lion shall eat straw like the cow. They eat straw in the sense that they eat grain products. For instance, tender bits, for instance, fried chick. They eat meat analogs made out of